Okay, folks, here's a quick review of the Luke Skywalker and Hoth Outfit figure that was produced by Hasbro as part of the Star Wars Vintage Collection line of products. I picked this up on Big Bad Toy Store for $7.09 during one of their clearance sales, and I also bought a second example of this figure for my mint-on-mint carded figure collection for $8.99 at Toys R Us. Now, I had the original version of this figure when it was first released as a part of the Empire Strikes Back figure line during the original Kenner Star Wars run when I was growing up. So I was glad to find two of these figures for a good price. And seeing some of these vintage collection figures for sale in retail stores, it sure has brought back some pleasant childhood memories. Okay, paint apps on the figure were nicely done. I did notice that there is a very tiny hole in his left shoulder, but I'm not sure if that's a problem with just my figure or if all the Hoth Luke figures had that defect. The articulation joints on the figure worked pretty well. Luke has articulation in the head, the shoulders, the elbows, the mid-torso, the hips, the knees, and the ankles. Now, initially, I thought that the ankle articulation would be restricted due to the uniform draping around his feet, but I was pleased to discover that that wasn't the case. There was no waist articulation that I could find on this figure, although the elbows and the knees appear to have 2 points of articulation in them. So let me pause here, zoom in, and I'll give you a closer look as to what Luke looks like. Okay. All right, Luke came with some accessories, so let me pan down real quick and I'll show you what they are. The figure stand that you see him standing on was not included in the package and was purchased by me separately. Okay, first up, here is his lightsaber in both activated and deactivated forms. The deactivated lightsaber can be placed into a dedicated peg hole near Luke's left hip if you so choose. And Luke can hold his lightsaber in either hand, but it is a bit of a loose fit in his right hand due to the trigger finger pointing outwards. Okay, next up, here is his Blastech DL44 laser pistol, and this can be stored in a belt holster on Luke's right hip. This was unfortunately warped in the packaging and required some straightening out. Finally, here is what would appear to be a neck pillow and his headscarf and goggles. Now, the headscarf and goggles are molded as one piece and they don't separate. And if you want to pose Luke wearing these accessories, you have to pop his head off of the neck joint. And personally, I think the figure looks better with at least the neck pillow in place, as without either of these accessories on, Luke looks like he has an elongated, overly skinny neck, and the figure presentation just doesn't look very appealing to me. Back to the figure itself. What I'll do now is a quick 360 of Luke for you and let you see what he looks like from all sides. Okay. So overall, I'd have to say that I like this figure. The paint apps were done pretty well, and he comes with some good accessories too. Now, I didn't like that Luke's neck appeared as skinny and elongated as it did without the scarf and neck pillow accessories, but even so, I think Luke should get a great recommendation. This is a nice update to the original Luke Skywalker and Hoth Outfit figure that I had as a child, and I'm glad to have him in my current Star Wars figure collection. Okay, so on that note, take care and stay tuned for my next review. Have a good one.